morning, or depending on when you're watching this, good afternoon, good evening, or good night. My name's Ross, and I was always told how to voice a radio. So today, we need to take a little bit of a look at a couple of brand new VMAXs. Yeah, that's right. We've got two new VMAXs to take a look at. So let's take a little bit of a look at Rillaboom VMAX and Cinderace V-MAX. Two brand new Pokemon VMAXs, which are coming out as promo cards, incidentally, over in Japan. So, and these are the Gigantamax forms. So I know we've already had VMAXs of these, but these are the Gigantamax forms as opposed to the Dynamax forms we saw previously. And of course, we will be comparing them to the other ones because you kind of have to. So starting off with Cinderace V-MAX then, we've got 320 HP, which is high, but it's also kind of standard, honestly, for a Pokemon V-MAX. That is about what we would expect. We've got a retreat cost of 2, which is fine. Gives you free retreat with Air Balloon, which is kind of cool. We've got a weakness to water, which honestly isn't such a big deal. Frostmoth decks might be good in the future, you never know. But as it stands at the moment, water decks are not taking the format by storm. And being a fire Pokemon means you got Welder to accelerate energy, and Giant Hearth and Fire Crystal to get it from the deck and discard pile, respectively. It means you're hitting weakness on metal Pokemon like Zacian V and also grass Pokemon. And grass Pokemon aren't seeing a huge amount of play right now, but you never know what's going to be released in the future, so that's kind of cool. It's a nice time to be a fire Pokemon, though do remember that Welder is going to be lost at the rotation, which will only be about 2 months after this comes out. You have been warned. It is also interesting to note that this is, like the Pokemon V we saw before, a single strike Pokemon, so you can use single strike energy to do an extra 20 damage, although remember it will not pay the fire cost, it's only fighting or darkness energy, but then again you've only got one fire in your attack cost, you'll be fine. You can use stuff like Houndoom to accelerate the energy, you can use stuff like Emboar to allow yourself to do extra damage, etc, so that ain't bad, ladies and gentlemen, that ain't bad. What we've got here is 1 attack, 4 energy, 230 damage, your opponent's active Pokemon is now burned, and this Pokemon cannot attack during your next turn. Alrighty then. And I don't love this until we start doing the single strike thing. I actually did quotation fingers then, and I'm not recording the video, I'm just recording audio. That felt weird. And essentially here, you're doing almost enough damage. Now, if you're against Pokemon Vs, you are good. You know, a big Pokemon V would be something like Rhyperior V, and even Rhyperior V comes in at 230, so you are getting a one-hit KO. Like, I think the only one you're not getting here, and correct me if I've missed one in the comment section, but the only one you're not getting here is actually Wailord. And if anyone's raising their hand right now to say, Zamazenta, put your hand down. See, I know that Zamazenta's got an ability that blocks attacks from VMAX Pokemon, but I'm also fully aware that if you're playing VMAX Pokemon moving forward, you are going to be playing Phoebe, which lets you hit through the ability, so yes, you absolutely can get a one-hit KO on Zamazenta. I hope your hands are down already. But this is good, right? But is it good for 4 energy? 230 damage is a key number, make no mistake about it. 230 damage is great. But 4 energy is a lot. like really a lot. This is a very, very expensive attack. Now, the good news is pre-rotation, we don't actually even really need to worry that much. Let's say you've got no energy on here. Well, you welder a couple energy on, attach for the turn, use Houndoom, and now you're hitting 250. That is good, because you'll have a single strike energy from Houndoom. And honestly, 230 is good, but it's not quite enough. We want 270, 280, because that is tag team KOing territory, and we can do it. An Emboar, bearing in mind Emboar can be played more easily with Mustard, that functions very similar to, for instance, Maxis, but it's for single strike Pokemon, and you put them on the bench from the deck, not from the discard pile. So if you use Mustard to get an Emboar out, for instance, and then you get a single strike energy on with Houndoom, and bearing in mind these are standard things that should be happening in single strike decks, you should be playing Mustard, you should be playing Houndoom. Then all of a sudden you're hitting 280, and 280 is good. But are you going to be playing Welder in a full-on single-strike deck? And this is my big issue with Cinderace V-MAX. I love it if I'm playing Welder, and Houndoom, and Emboar, and Mustard. Basically, if I'm playing all of the single-strike tricks and Welder, yes, I can get this going in a single turn and one-hit KO anything but Pokemon V-MAXs while having a lot of HP. This is nice. But you see, I've not talked about the burn yet. Because, of course, you're also getting a little bit of burn damage. Now, burn does 20 damage between turns, flip a coin, if heads, burn goes away. So that actually makes this do 250. Now, I still don't think 250 is enough, let's be clear. 250 is still a little bit low. But now, with a single strike energy, I'm hitting 270, and 270 is a key number for, say, Mewtwo and Mew, or Reshiram and Charizard. I'm still 10 short of an ADP, which sucks a little bit. But now, let's say I've got the burn damage is 250, and an Emboar's up to 280. Now we're looking good. Single strike energy 300. If I can get a second single strike energy on, and bearing in mind, Welder Houndoom attached for the turn, that could be 2 single strike energy. Or you can stack Houndoom, then you can actually get up to 320 and VMAX KOing territory. I see this as a really nice, really awkward card. Because we've actually got all of the tricks. Now, if you've got, say, 3 Houndoom on the bench and an Emboar, then you're getting this going in one turn and you're hitting huge damage. That is awesome. Is that realistic? I don't know. I'm giving this between 3 and 4 Wassies. I do think there's a lot of potential here, but it strikes me as a kind of card that's so combo heavy, I'm worried it's never going to work. Now, if we quickly compare that to the other Cinderace V-MAX, the one we've had for a little while, we've got, I love counter. You do as much damage as was done to you last turn, even if you healed, which is cool. And then free energy, 170 plus burn. But, of course, you do get the, welder and then 1 extra energy thing going on. So, it's not proven to be amazing. I do think there is an argument this one is better. I'm just worried it's so combo heavy, it's going to be super, super awkward. Now, the other one we've got here is a bit of the old Rillaboom VMAX. And anyone following my channel, well, the last 3 Japanese products I've opened have somehow all had Rillaboom VMAX in. So I've almost got a playset in Japanese. But this is a new Rillaboom VMAX. What do we see? 330 HP is high, like properly high. We've then got a retreat cost of 3, which is also unfortunately kind of high. It's not a great retreat cost. We've got weakness to fire. And again, you've got Welder decks, you've got Center Scorch decks, etc. It's not a particularly good weakness to have. This may well help to explain why grass decks really have not been doing well lately. And you're a grass Pokemon and you're really not hitting anything for weakness, which is honestly a little bit sad. So I'm not loving the stats here, if I'm honest with you. And again, we got an attack which is really expensive. Grass, triple colorless, G-Max drum solo, 180, plus 40 to 2 of your opponent's bench Pokemon. And one of the issues we get here, straight off the bat, is that we're again a 4 energy attack, but we don't have all the stuff I just told you about when we were talking about Cinderace, which is awkward. Now, we do have Rapid Strike Energy. I should mention this is a Rapid Strike Pokemon. So you do get access to Rapid Strike Energy, which is cool. But that pays 2. It's not a dramatic pause. I'm just saying it pays 2 of your 4. So it's going to take 2 turns of Rapid Strike Energy in order to actually pay this. Now, if you're willing to play with the Stage 2 Rillaboom, now we're talking. Because Stage 2 Rillaboom will accelerate 2 energy. Then you attach Rapid Strike Energy and boom, you're going in 1 turn. That's awesome. But really? No. It's too awkward. And even then, you're hitting 180 damage. And this isn't like a single strike Pokemon. Like we said with Cinderace, it's a little bit low, but let's build it up. And we actually got pretty high. This is just 180. So you'll get a KO on a Crobat. Yay! And single prize Pokemon. But even Pokemon Vs, you're only really getting the weakest Pokemon Vs around, like stuff like Crobat. And as much as I like 40 damage to two of my opponent's bench Pokemon, I'm not really KOing anything here. I'm spreading a bit of damage. I'm setting them up. I'm helping. But I'm not actually getting KOs there. And let's say I hit for 40, then I hit for 180. Well, now we're actually at 220, and that will KO the majority of Pokemon V, but stuff like Zacian's got resistance, so you're not actually KOing that. So whereas I looked at Cinderace and I went, well, it's an awkward attack cost, but we can pay it with weird combos. And I looked at the damage and I went, well, it's a little bit low, but we can pay it with weird, we can build it up with all these combos. I look at Rillaboom and I'm like, it's a little bit expensive. And what are you going to do? Rillaboom and Rapid Strike Energy? And that's a stage 2 Pokemon. We ain't loving it. And then I look at the damage and I'm like, it's a little bit too low and it's basically staying there. And I am not anywhere near as much a fan of this one. I'm sure I'll end up with 27 copies of the card. But I'm going to be perfectly honest with you here. I don't think there's a huge amount that I'm terribly in love with. I think I'm giving this between 2 and 3 Wassies. We don't give half Wassies. That would be barbaric. I'm sorry, ladies and gentlemen. I'm sorry. I'm not loving it. I don't think this Rillaboom's particularly good. I look at this and all I see is a really expensive card that just does not do enough damage for what's out there. And if we put this next to the other Rillaboom VMAX, well, 4 energy, I can do 280. Yeah, that's better. And I've got a single energy attack in there as well. Stats are, again, exactly the same. I am finding it really, really difficult to make much of an argument in favour of this new Rillaboom. And for that, I'm rather sorry. But now, ladies and gentlemen, I want to know what you think about both of these cards. So let me know in the comment section. Go nuts. Be nice. And then make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, follow me on Twitter at @TheWassie, and Twitch for some live action at twitch.tv/PTCG Radio. If you want to support the channel, get some bonus podcasts and all that good stuff, head on over to patreon.com/PTCG Radio, where you can do exactly that. But by far the most important thing, as always, look after yourselves till next time, would ya? Thank you very much for watching. My name's Ross, and you've been watching PTCG Radio.